Hello there explorers and welcome to A Bugman's Life. It's really good to see you guys. Today we'll be feeding some of my starter ant colonies and seeing how they take to the food. Most of the ant colonies that we'll be feeding today is almost ready to move out into an outworld setup. But at this stage, I'm still giving them some time in their claustral test tube to make sure that they are strong and healthy before I put them in an outworld. So, let us check out the ants and get them all fed. The first species that we will be feeding today is a Camponotus species. This is either Camponotus aureopubans or Camponotus flavomarginatus. I'm not exactly sure which one of those it is yet. Today, we will be feeding all of these ants with a small piece of mealworm due to the high fat and protein content to accelerate the colony growth. So now that I've told you we're feeding these ants with mealworms, I'm just quickly interrupting to tell you the interesting news that I came across this week. The European Union has given the green light to mealworms for human consumption, saying that it is safe, whole, and as an additive to food, which means that in a few years from now, it is possible that we might be mostly eating insect proteins instead of mammal proteins. Now, wouldn't that be interesting? This is Camponotus maculatus, the spotted sugar ant. They're quite big and they like their food. Here we have another large Camponotus species. As you can see, this one has quite a lot of workers, meaning that they are basically ready to move into an outworld setup, so they will be moving soon. This is Camponotus vestitus, and in the next shot you will see some very interesting behavior. You see the ant that comes to the queen? They are busy with trophallaxis, meaning that the one ant is feeding the other from its social stomach. This is Camponotus empedocles, the glossy sugar ant, another one of the large Camponotus species within the region. So guys, before we continue to move on and feed the last ant colony, I've got a very interesting idea. The idea is that we do a piece of ant research, where we feed 3 different colonies of the same species varying amounts of carbohydrates and proteins to see whether the ants prefer and whether they do the best on a high carbohydrate diet, an equal diet of proteins and carbohydrates, or a diet consisting mostly of protein. If this is something that you would be interested in, please make sure to leave a comment down below, starting with #AntResearch and telling me why you would be interested in something like this. Let's continue with feeding the last colony. Another tricky species to identify. This is either Camponotus aureopubans or Camponotus flavomarginatus. Remember to remove all the old food from your ant enclosure, as you are the one that are responsible to keep their environment clean. The first ant to discover the piece of mealworm ate a while before it went back to the colony to alert the rest of the ants that there is food right outside. And after a short while, many of the ants from the colony came to break down the food and carry it to the colony, piece by piece. So guys, that concludes the ant feeding for today. If you haven't done so yet, hit that subscribe button and become a part of the Explorer community. Then like this video and go share it with your friends. And for those of you that stuck around until now, there's a small, let's say, teaser at the end of something to come in the future of this channel, which is going to be really, really awesome. So make sure that you subscribe. And then remember to explore, discover, and share. I'll see you in the next one.